Okay, I wanted to make this video like I'm talking to my friend on FaceTime. I'm in a pink outfit. If my sister sees this, she's gonna be so pissed because she's been like, why are you wearing my pants? Like every day. Anyways, my outfit's ridiculous. Like this shirt says, no more drama, just have more fun. So I left YouTube about 4 years ago when I had over 1 million subscribers. I stopped posting completely and I moved to Italy. I was so blessed that I was able to do that because I learned so much and really it saved my life in a literal sense and a metaphorical sense. I got really sick. My health was at an all-time low, which also completely affected my mental health. And yeah, there was a lot of things that I was dealing with back in LA. I was turning 19. My career was at its peak. I was making a lot of money on YouTube, getting a lot of brand deals, doing a music project and finally having support from big people in the industry and meeting people that I essentially always was waiting to meet, if I'm gonna be honest. It was like an absolute peak and I really thought everything was going to boom because I worked so hard for years. I moved to LA when I was 15. I started YouTube when I was 13. I was always acting, writing, making songs. I wrote a song every day and was just so consistent and spent so much time alone, guys. Like for real, I did not have friends in high school. I did online school here in LA. So it was quite, it was a very focused and also very lonely process, but it did essentially, the hard work did pay off and I was seeing that pay off in my bank account, in the way that people were suddenly interested in me in a social way, on a friend way. Suddenly people wanted to be friends. Suddenly people wanted to do stuff together after years of nobody not giving a and not even batting their eye twice. So like that also definitely affected my ego because I was like, oh wow, suddenly people care about me because I have this number. That's weird. Suddenly now people give a shit. They want to hear my music. No one even cared before. No one cared at all, nor did they even think I was talented. So that was really weird. And I didn't realize that until much later. I didn't realize that till I hit rock bottom, girl. I did not realize that. I just thought, oh, it's all authentic. This is just, like the universe blessing me because I put so much devotion and sacrifice into this and I really cared about what message I was trying to send. And I did believe in that. I do believe that if you love what you're doing, good things do happen. It's just that I was so young and still so insecure and didn't have a group of people around me that truly loved me for me because they came later. That was really hard to navigate, especially in LA, which I'm sure that you've heard these stories before and heard other, I don't even think there's people huge actors and huge artists that talk about this all the time. And I do think that's why a lot of them get into drugs or completely leave because they're not surrounded by people that love them for them and they start to lose their truth. So anyways, this shit it's so hard. It's so complicated. And I hope I'm not boring you, but this is genuinely how I would talk with my friend. COVID came, I got sick, and suddenly I kind of lost everything, in a sense where I literally lost my mind, because I was really sick. And I started to notice, I started to lose a lot of things. Luckily I have my family. They are the reason I'm still here, honestly. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't still be here. So I'm just so grateful for that. And I know that a lot of people don't have that. So that was my saving grace. And it's something I'll never forget. And it's something I lead with. But besides my family, I noticed that the friends that I had and the people around me, they did not care at all that I was sick. As soon as I was losing the potential and the whatever they saw, they weren't interested anymore. So, you know, that made me even more depressed. I felt even more confused. I felt so lost. I just didn't really care about anything anymore. Nothing of this world that I was dreaming of made me happy, because I realized that it was built on fake things, and, you know, that will never fulfill you. That will never fulfill you. A number, money, status, that will never ever fulfill you, especially when you're at your lowest. That doesn't mean anything. What matters is love and people that care for you. So this, I guess it wasn't a short summary, but like there's way more details that I'm not saying. So I guess it is actually a very short summary. I just want you to get the gist of why I left and why I moved. So I was feeling super down. Like, honestly, didn't want to keep living, if I'm gonna be straight up, because it was so dark, and I really didn't understand how people survived in this type of world or could even keep going. It's just like pointless. So I watched this movie, which in this period, I lost interest in entertainment completely, in music and art. Like, I just lost complete interest. I could not connect to it anymore, which was really sad, because it was the one thing that kept me connected and grounded. But I watched this one movie that my mom recommended, and I really didn't want to, because I knew that after 10 minutes I would just feel like so even more alone. But this movie, La Grande Bellezza, The Great Beauty, really, I felt the director was talking to me, like, in a spiritual way. Also with the context of the film, and it's his story. There's a lot of times where you can't understand if it's a fantasy, if he's hallucinating, or if it's reality. And that was something that I was facing every day. So to see that in a film made me feel, okay, like I'm actually alive, I'm on this planet, and someone else understands me. And that's the power of art. And I would say that movie really, really saved me and inspired me. And my mom was like, oh, you should try to go to university in Rome. And it's something my whole family supported. And at first, you know, before that, while I was doing YouTube and working and not really going to high school, I never thought about going to university or college. It was just something that I didn't really think about, especially in America, because I didn't really like the whole sorority, fraternity thing, doing all the crazy exams and the stress, especially because I wasn't in school, in a physical school. It was not something I thought about. So when at first this idea came up, I wasn't sure about it, but I did have a gut feeling that that would be the right decision. And so 6 months after, I watched La Grande Bellezza, which is based in Rome. You guys should watch it, The Great Beauty, if you haven't seen it or heard of it. I decided to study there, and I decided to completely stop social media, and that I was finally gonna give me a chance to just live and not think about what my career would be like, or, you know, what other people think of me that aren't really there in the physical, that aren't like in front of me. And I was so curious to know if I could make friends just by being me. And like, I know that sounds stupid and like somehow sad, but I was really curious if that was possible, if I could have friends that genuinely like me for me, or like we had common interests just based on that and nothing else. Not because, oh yes, you have this amount of followers and you know this person, so we're definitely can be friends. Like that's really how it was for me. So I really wanted to experience meeting people in a genuine way, and to be focused on something else, which was education and studying history, learning a different culture, a language, a different lifestyle. So that's how I moved. And I am half Italian, so I did have citizenship. I know some of you guys were asking, how did you move there financially? How did you move there, like, logistically? But also, if you're a student and going to school there, guys, is is affordable, okay? Going to school in the US is not affordable. I think y'all know that, but damn, it's more affordable in Europe. And there's actually a lot of public universities that you don't have to, I don't know if that's only for Italian or EU citizens, where the college is free. I don't know. But, there is a lot of scholarships. I got a scholarship. There's lots of opportunities where you're not paying that, typical fee you pay in America for college, which can be up to $100K a year, which is absolutely insane. I don't get that. So financially, it wasn't a problem, and I did have a lot of savings because I worked my whole from 13 to 20, I was working. So I did have savings, and I was able to get freelance work. I did work for the school. I did other freelance projects to make money. So yeah, that wasn't really a problem, and the rent is way cheaper than here. Everything is cheaper. So just the lifestyle in general, the cost of living is cheaper because the wages are smaller. But yeah, that wasn't really an issue. So yeah, living there, I guess this is what it taught me. So now I'm gonna read my big book. There's so many lessons, but I was just reflecting the other day, and that's kind of what inspired me to talk to you guys about it and just be super honest. Because now, actually, so I'll just do one thing at a time. It's too confusing. Is this it? No. I have like 20 journals. It's so crazy. Like they each have a different purpose, but this one is more like manifestations and like specific thoughts. Okay. What I learned while living in Italia for 4 years. So the first one is pleasure. So la dolce vita, la dolce far niente, which means the beauty of not doing anything. I'm sure you've heard that, la dolce vita. Basically, it's the joy of enjoying okay, let me read it and then I'll talk, because I think what I wrote is good. The joy of enjoying the beauty that surrounds you, sitting on a park bench in the sun in Villa Borghese, indulging a cornetto and a cafe early in the morning to talk for 30 minutes before going to work or school, taking a long stroll through the city, sitting in a church in silence and just staring at the beautiful paintings that surround you. The church bells, going to the market. There's food markets everywhere. So, like a farmer's market, basically there's these mercatinos everywhere with fresh produce, local food and produce from local farmers. And yeah, it's beautiful being able to get your groceries in that way. That's still like one of the most common ways that people are cooking and what they're using to eat. And that's why they're healthier, because they don't have all those GMOs and all this fake bullshit that they pump into the food here. They don't have that. And they still there's still a lot of small businesses and individual businesses, and you have personal relationships with these people. Yeah, it's like anti-capitalism. Obviously, there's still big supermarkets and big brands, but there still is a lot of smaller businesses, which is beautiful. Pleasure is kind of seen as laziness here, where, relaxing or sometimes doing nothing is seen as you're boring or a stupid person. And, we live in a place where everything is extremely fast. Everything is about producing something super fast, getting to the next level, what can I do to get to the top, right? That's kind of how this country has been built. Like, why did I whisper that? And that is the cost of capitalism. Yes, there's so much opportunity, there's a lot of money, and then there's a cost and a sacrifice of pleasure and of, I don't know, living, like actually just living, because here you live to work. There you live to live, and work is just a separate thing. It doesn't really okay, yes, it does define some people, but it's really not something that organizes how you meet and communicate and your daily activities in Italy. It doesn't at all. So that was really what I felt when I got there, and I felt a sense of freedom and a breath of air that I could just not care about those things and remember that life isn't about that. It's about the little things. It's about your coffee or that conversation, or just enjoying the nature around you or the buildings and the people. And you have the time to conversate. You have the time to have a deep conversation, not like, oh, how are you? Good. Okay, bye. Like, you can genuinely have a deep conversation with someone if that's your intention, you know? So that's beautiful. The second thing I learned was romance. My time in Rome began and finished with romance. Everything about the city is romantic, whether it be the man who played the accordion outside my window of my first apartment. He played the accordion. I fell asleep to it and would wake up to it. It was beautiful. To the way that everyone greets you, ciao bello or ciao bella, which means hi beautiful, to either boy or girl. To the romance of the food and the quality, to how it's not really about the quantity of ingredients, it's about the quality. So it's about having a few good ingredients and putting all your love into that to make something taste absolutely amazing. Where here I feel like it's dumping a ton of shit together, and you know, because the quality of the ingredients aren't that good, so you need a lot of different things, which is interesting. Super, super interesting that even in the way that food is prepared, you can see that difference, which is something my Italian friends pointed out to me because I didn't really know that. The couples kissing in the street, holding hands, nearly about to make love. I mean, people really show their affection there. They are not afraid to grab you and make out with you in front of everyone. Like, everyone's making out. You go to a spa, people are touching each other. And, you know, like, some people think that that's disgusting or weird. But I think that the way that people show affection is awesome. They're just feeling the moment. Maybe sometimes people be doing it too much. Like, some people go overboard. Like, you don't have to be kissing for 5 hours straight in public. But the fact that people feel free to do that is beautiful. You don't see that around here, honey. 3 is friendship, community. I'm feeling so happy talking about this. It's reminding me of the good things. Okay. Friendship, community, everything is built on this. The cities, the families, the meals, football, singing, the foundation is love and multiple people coming together to share something, you know, whether that be dinners, like people really have dinners with their families and friends. How I would spend time with my friends is we would cook for like 10 of us or 20 of us. We would all cook and eat together. And it was a main, you know, part of our day and how we connected and shared stories. That was so common. Like, at least 4 times a week I did that. And I was so grateful. I really didn't know that people live like this. It's how I always dreamed of, and having friends like that where you're connecting on a deep and real level, not just like, let's go get fucked up and blah, 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 or, you know, other ways. So that was absolutely amazing to experience, and I still have it. I still carry that with me. Yeah. What else did I write? Oh, your friends are your family, really. Like, your friends really are your family there too. And it's not uncommon that you will really be part of someone else's, your friend's family. The family will be super happy to have you, accept you, have dinners together, have deep talks. That's completely normal for you to be with the nonnas, the nonnos, the zias, the zios, so aunt, uncle, grandparents. We're all together. I made deep friendships in unexpected ways. These friends helped me to become more myself. Life is better when you can grow and share and learn from one another. Even my friends that I made in university who are from completely different parts of the world. One of my best friends is from Karachi in Pakistan, the other from Kenya, the other from Tunisia, the other from Malaysia, everywhere. And yeah, those are also one from San Francisco. Those are the friendships I always desired and didn't really know that I could have. And we did meet in unexpected ways, usually by bonding over our creativity. And I was naming all female friendships in that moment. I have a lot of male friendships too, but they're Italian. So yeah, all my female friendships were really girls that, I don't know, we had a similar story or a similar idea of life. We created together, we shared together, we inspired and motivated each other, and also, did art together, or I don't know, just would talk for hours and hours and hours. We could just take a walk and it would be so fun, or just sit at home and not do anything and just enjoy each other's company. That was the first time I really had that type of feminine friendship and community that was super supportive and taught me so much, really taught me so much. And just to know that you can have friends like that, damn, I'm like, I need to text them now, because it's been so hard with the time difference. But yeah, they're my friends forever. 4 is curiosity. To be curious about history, tradition, language, culture, and knowing more about different parts of the world. Curious about people, their stories, their views on life, their spirituality, religion, dreams. I really learned a lot about the world. I didn't know much about world history. I didn't know much about the past, about colonialism, about post-colonialism, about gender theory, about media culture. And this came from school, obviously, from being in university. I didn't know about these things, and I probably wouldn't have if I didn't go to university and be in specifically a liberal arts university, because everyone had such a different opinion, such different backgrounds, and it was just a place to truly learn a lot and also question what I thought that I knew, question my previous beliefs, and that really opened my mind. It was so rewarding to be able to debunk and dismantle some things that I previously thought. So that was really great. And it pushes me to keep doing that. I find joy in learning and reading and challenging myself to things that I don't understand or want to understand. So that was great. Then 5 is creativity, arts. I started to create with artists of all sorts and help other people's stories come to life. Art is a way of living, from how you dress, to how you talk, to how you relax, to how you make love. And that's really, it brought me back to my creative self, something that I completely abandoned once I left LA and got sick. I just thought I lost that part of myself forever, and it somehow pained me to even return to it. But living in a way where the art of living, I changed the way in my relationship to arts. And also I started producing during that time. So I was just producing music for myself and learning how to produce, and being able to do that gave me the ability to help my friends and other artists produce their music or their stories that they wanted to share. And I started with an exhibition with one of my best friends, and I almost cried seeing her story come to life through something that I was able to sonically demonstrate and help her communicate. That's what art is about. And being in a physical space where you can see people feel that energy, it's unmatched. That's really what can change someone's perspective. So it pushed doing that. Really, that friendship with Mana really inspired me to keep doing music, and she opened that door for me hard. She opened that door for me hard. And once that door was open, a lot of other beautiful doors were opened, and suddenly I was meeting musicians who are now my best friends, and producers, my other best friends who I've been making music with. And we had our first live show a couple months ago in June in Rome. I mean, that was one of the best nights of my life. Even some of you guys came, which I just couldn't believe it. I just never thought that would happen again. So the fact that it could, in a way that was only rooted in people that really, I cared about and they cared about me, that's how I want to lead. That's how I want to lead with my life, who I'm friends with, my creations, my art. So yeah, now that I am obviously posting this on YouTube, that means that I'm returning to this crazy world of social media, and I am back in LA, and I will go deeper into my story. It's just, I don't know how long this video is. I'm like, I hope it's not an hour because I've just been blabbering. But yeah, now that I'm back in LA and trying again, not trying again, but coming back here to share what I've learned and share the music that I've been creating. I just gotta remember the things that I've learned in Italy, and that's a part of me, and I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. Like everybody, no one knows what the hell they're doing. Shocker. No one ever knows what's going on, and that's fine. I've accepted that. What I do know what's going on is that I love sharing, I love creating, and I love having deep connections with people. That's what gives me satisfaction. That's what makes me happy. So yeah, maybe the part 2 will be like the hardest lessons I've learned in LA. And if you guys have any questions, please comment. Like, you can ask me anything, or if you're interested in moving abroad, or this somehow inspired you, or if you're in a difficult place or whatever, like, you can ask me anything. And make sure to also go on Mozart Mob, because that is really like the best community in the world. And I've been there since I was 16. We've been there since we were 16. It's just like the most beautiful, amazing, genuine people ever from all around the world that really do give a fuck and understand you. So if you're feeling alone, go there, honey, and just know that you're not. All right, I hope this video was helpful or just made you connect to something. I love you. And yeah, we'll be seeing you soon, babe.